Alright, basically, I'm developing my startup, and it's about a food app, especially for schools and institutions. So yeah, basically that sounds a little bit confusing, like a food app for my school. What I'm going to do with that? Alright, so basically, I'm gonna put you in context, guys. Here, at least in my countries, schools in general, most of them has like an inside cafeteria where you can go and ask for food, right? You go and you order the food. This process is really tedious. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you need to do like a really long queue, first of all. Like 10 minutes, you need to like do a queue to say, hey, I want to order this food. It's really hard. And then you need to wait a lot to the food to be prepared. And you don't exactly know where it's finished, and you can't do like all the things till finished, right? And you need to wait there till they say your name, and it's really hard. Not only all for the students who needs to wait a lot and there is a lot of an organization, it's also really hard for the staff that works in the cafeteria, right? They need to cook, they need to attend all the people that are coming into there. It's really hard. So basically, I made an app for this. Well, I'm making an app for this. That's called Clanco. And it's basically a food app where you can basically, students and people from the institution can basically order food, right? Basically they order food from the phone. Basically the staff like gets all these incoming orders in like computer, and they can easily and efficiently manage all of this. So yeah, that's Glenco. It's a food app for schools. It's really easy, fast, and efficient to basically order a food. Yeah, that's why I'm making it, right? So yeah, it has been like a really long process since this started. This should be started like in 2020, but since a lot of things happened, I basically couldn't and develop this application. But never it's too late. We're in 2022. Well, basically, I'm gonna tell you how I'm actually doing all of this, how Clanco works, why you need Clanco in your life. You know, I'm joking. Alright, so that's Clanco. I'm actually going to tell you how I'm making all of this possible. That's the idea, and I'm actually making that idea like into a reality. Well, basically the first thing is like the planning and designing, right? You went from the idea, like having the idea of a food app for institutions, right? And you basically need to do all the planning for this. How I'm going to do it, how much time it's going to take me, what technologies I'm going to use. I'm also by myself. There's no one else. I'm the designer, the programmer, like the manager, like the everything on this. I'm just by myself, which is actually kind of challenging, but I like challenges, so I'm not afraid. But well, basically you need to take like account all the things, so you need to have like a good plan. And that's what I started doing like 2 weeks ago. Well, not 2 weeks ago, almost like 4 months ago. The real plan is that basically I'm just a 17-year-old kid who doesn't know too much about programming. I mean, I can code mobile apps. I know a little bit. I mean, I'm not a professional on building startups, and I think that if I'm going to build something scalable and for everyone and thousands of users are going to use, I want to make something that's good, right? So basically, since the year started, I actually been developing on Flutter, actually been learning a lot of programming, SQL technologies, other things that are going to basically help me to make this application possible. So yeah, basically 2 weeks ago, what I started doing was basically I needed to make a logo first for my startup. I grabbed some papers and started drawing some random figures. I wanted to make like a hamburger inspired style minimalistic icon kind of thing, but I couldn't, so I went to Photoshop. I started drawing some random shapes, and that's it. Then basically for the name, that's Clanco. Yeah, that just went through in my mind. I didn't actually have like an idea or an inspiration why it's Clanco. So yeah, basically then after that I started like drawing all the screens of the application, like all these screens that the main application is going to have. I think that Clanco, it's really intuitive and really easy. It's going to be I wanted to make Clanco really easy to use, really easy to download, and it's going to be like an app that, because there's also people that actually order food constantly in the school. Basically this app is going to be something good for their lives, also for my life, because I also order food. Yeah, then I followed along. Basically I started putting all the functions that my main application is going to have, right? Well, basically going to explain you really quickly how Clanco works. There's going to be like 4 main frameworks or 4 main devices that Clanco is going to have. So the first thing is like the application, the mobile application where you can basically order food, where the user is going to install it. Yeah, then you need the local server. What is the local server? Well, basically the local server is like the computer that the staff from the cafeteria has. Basically it's going to like receive all the orders, all the incoming orders from all the users. Then basically there's like a website where I was basically going to show all the features that Clanco has, why Clanco, why if it's efficient, why you should get it. And it's like a really basic website just showcasing Clanco, how you can download it or basically acquire it for your institution. Then basically I need like an external server, which basically it's going to control all the things, like all the institutions, all the users, and all that stuff. So basically I started writing all those things into paper, writing one by one all the functions of the application, the local server, the website, and the external server. Also, I added the technologies that I going to use and the programming languages also. Yeah, basically I have everything on paper, and then actually draw out some like infrastructure on how architecturally Clanco is like going to work. Yeah, and that's it basically. There's nothing too much to say. And then obviously I hanged out all of that in my wall basically, because I want to always have all of that. Also print all of that, basically all the papers and some things. I also grabbed other things that I needed to grab. Yeah, that's Clanco, right? But yeah, I'm actually well prepared, I think, and I think everything is going to be pretty nice. So yeah, basically that's it. I started programming like 1 week ago. I didn't actually start like seriously, but I went and I started programming like the website. I've been developing a lot, researching a lot, and all the things came together. Yeah, I think that Clanco is going to be pretty insane. So yeah. That's it guys. I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of nervous, you can tell by my face. I always been really confident in my life, but actually lastly it's been really hard, and it's a really hard challenge to build all those things. So yeah, that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, hope you like it. Make sure to subscribe. That's how I'm building Clanco. Yeah guys, I hope you see you in the next one. Goodbye.